Good evening. John Augustine here, Bishop E. Strickland. Uh, the challenges of the lady in the 21st century. He was the bishop in a place called Tyler, Tyler, in Texas. You think he said East Texas, and stretching over many counties, but the majority of the population were non-Catholics. So he regarded his task as very important as a bishop, as a follower. He was there 8 years, and as a follower of for the apostles, including Judas, who was the betrayer. And there's plenty of those types in the world today too. And so he takes his position serious. That he has a cross instead of a pictorial cross to focus on Jesus, and he has the same task to nourish the faith and the faithful priests as any other bishop or archbishop in large dioceses like New York, say Boston, and other places in the United States and abroad, even in Rome. And so he's just his job is just as important as in any big diocese. The same mission to help people to repent and come to the love of Jesus, the way, the truth, and the life. And he faded to the background himself. Like this is not he. It wasn't all about him. He was using whatever talents he had. He was just a sinner like everyone else, and would have shortcomings and that, because none of us are perfect. No, sorry, God is perfect. Jesus is perfect, but we're sinners, and we need to nourish our faith and all the rest of it. And the bishop spoke very much about that, and the priests, he praised them because they imbibed what he tried to pass on. And the main thing was for people to be able to save their immortal souls. And that included everyone, even these ones that were non-believers, and in some ways anti-Catholic. Regretfully, the respect that people are due is not always practiced, is it? We know that from our own life experiences. So he did a great job there and it was his book was dedicated to his flock in Tyler. So he took his job very serious and was a model bishop in many ways, and had a wider. People knew about him. I knew about him because he stood out, even in such an isolated area. If he just didn't administer. He preached the gospel the proper way, and encouraged the faith, and then practiced mass in the traditional way, facing the tabernacle, the universal Latin rite. Yes, and it just sort of brings the reverence and love of God into that lovely way the mass is celebrated in my time as well. So this is what Bishop uh, Joseph E. Strickland did. Marvelous bishop, and so that's the overall. And he also went on the media, whatever you like to call it, so as to spread it a little further. And he advocated that's the way to bishop, and to try to pass on the faith and nourish it, and make sure that you get as many people to save their immortal souls as possible. and even those ones that were non-Catholic, they were just to be trying converted as well to the one true faith, the way, the truth, and the life. So that's roughly what he was saying in this particular chapter. I might have missed out one or two, but until I get permission to be actually read the book, I have to paraphrase it in what I've read and try to give the flavour. But I sort of definitely appreciate Bishop Joseph B. Strickland that I got to hear about. Extraordinary, isn't it? Normal course events you wouldn't, but I did. Because of course I look at EWTN, and because I learned a lot from that along the lines of what we're doing in the Christian TV Ireland project. We're trying to nourish the faith in our own way, and when we get established, that'll be our main task with those that are involved. When we have a little building and some studios, and that won't be a big affair whatsoever, but it'll be Holy Mass will be celebrated and Rosary and Benediction and that type of thing, and we will speak to people that's perhaps not practicing their Catholic faith, and people that are needing help, people that are sleeping rough on the streets, people that are encountering difficulties in their lives, to try and help them along as regards God, seeking Jesus and the peace that they'll have from that, no matter what situation they're in. And if it's a situation that there's no solution, they might have to make decisions to seek some other path. You're not expected to go through life putting up with any type of abuse from anyone. You're expected to try and save your mortal soul, and there are some people who try to undermine that. So there's only so much of that you can put up with unless they change their ways. Life has a lot of problems for people. They didn't plan it that way, but crosses come your way too, don't they? So bear that in mind anyway, and we'll continue another little bit tomorrow around this time about Bishop Strickland, and we'll try and paraphrase what he's saying. So now I'm going to be singing my usual hymns after this. So take up your positions. I want to hear a few claps. There'll be silence at this end, but hopefully there won't be silence where you are. Now, it's a strange thing when I'm doing live videos, but do you think you won't be bothered with notes coming up from this, that, and the other that you're not remotely interested in? It's extraordinary what they do, isn't it? You're not interested in whatever it is that some of this nonsense that comes up. Yeah. You don't ask for it, but, it's one of the afflictions, isn't it? Bye now.